Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I was playing Fortnite, and that's why we are 4 minutes late, but we're here to talk about something. I don't know what it's going to be, because it is just the two of us tonight. But this is BP Ball.
We got a bit of ball to talk about.
We got a little bit of ball to talk about. We have some very depressing things to be talking about. I'm not excited about that. Right? I'm not excited about that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is. Is that right? Yes, sir. It's right. And it's not great. It is the opposite of great. What's the thing that's not great? Bad. It's bad. It's real bad. Football sucks, but you know what? Hey, it's fine. We'll get into it. How about you hit us with a little bit of ye old news?
All right, so we'll start with a bit of ye old college news.
Okay.
I saw this earlier in the week. I never actually checked if there was a follow-up on it, but it appears that college football will be adapting the helmet communication systems that, the modern day people use. So there'll be no more like hand signs and stealing signals or whatever going on.
And as much as this is kind of a good thing, it really is like the end of an era, because there's been like a whole subgenre of like funny signs, because they hold True. Like the signs up, and it's like, like a submarine, Peter Griffin, Kanye West, and then like a hot dog. And you're like, well, what the fuck does that mean? They know what it means.
Damn right.
But
and then the other change that was it's also going up for vote that I don't love is adding a 2-minute warning to college football. Don't know that we need that.
But... I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, actually, honestly.
I think you're a fan of the 2-minute in college ball?
I think yeah.
I guess my only issue towards adding the 2-minute warning is that like the clock already stops on first downs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like I feel like adding the 2-minute warning is legitimately in college ball just a play to get more commercials in. Just add another break for commercials.
I didn't think about it that way, actually. You make
when you have the clock stopping on first downs, you don't really need the 2-minute as a big time stopper. And I feel like it's legitimately just to get more commercials in. So I imagine it will pass for that reason. But
yeah, that's
my take on it.
Yeah, no, that's a problem. I didn't think of it. See, you'd find the way to like make everything sound terrible.
Well, I do. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah,
that's fair.
Speaking of things that sound terrible, you see this supposed statement of Saban's?
Yeah, that was. I wanted to delve into that deeper. Well, let's save that for the last thing you talk about.
All right. I also happened to see, somewhat related to that there was actually a chance of FSU's head coach going to Bama to be the Bama head coach, but they did not end up going that route.
Now, see, that's not really what I've been hearing, but
it came out in a report today that, well, I don't think that Bama was ever potentially planning to do that, but FSU thought they were going to.
Oh,
like they were starting to plan their own backups.
Well, yeah, I mean that was kind of part of the Jimmy Sexton work, where he was trying to get all his different guys paid.
Right.
Which, if you think about it, Jimmy Sexton's kind of the Paul Heyman of college football.
Well, somewhat relevant. Paul Heyman, Hall of Famer now.
Going into the Hall of Fame. Hey, very deserved. Paulie dangerously finally going into the Hall of Fame. Philadelphia legend, EC Dub. Love it. Big Paul Heyman guy.
Same. They also announced the second inductee for this year.
I did not see that.
Asian lady I've never heard of.
I gotta look this up. WWE.
It's like maybe Boomhauer, was it?
Bull Nakano. I don't recognize the name, but I recognize the look.
Yeah, I mean, before my time, so I have no idea what it is.
Certainly.
Great for them.
When was she actually in? Oh, she is. 94 to 95. Yeah, I mean that was
I wasn't even alive.
I mean, I was, but just barely. I was a young buck. Right. I was a wee little.
You
mean the middle-aged buck?
Yeah.
No, that's not me either. Roll Tide. I'm still a
All
young
right,
buck.
well, if you say so. So that's about it for what I had for relevant college stuff. Don't know if you had any college stuff you wanted to
I
add.
didn't, but I did want to talk about this Nick Saban thing because it's kind of echoing what we have been talking about a little bit over the past couple of, God, I guess years, but slash years. How
Right.
the NIL is bullshit. The transfer
Yep.
portal is bullshit. And this should be like evidence number one of that. Because
Well, let me preface that with I think NIL is okay on its own,
Mhm.
but when transfer portal exists, it kind of fucks everything.
That's true. I'll agree with that. We need to have one or the other, or both need to be regulated somehow.
I personally, I think I'd rather keep NIL and get rid of transfer portal because even if you get rid of NIL officially, like there's still under the table shit that's happening, and they can still just hop in the portal.
Right.
But you remove the portal, people can't just transfer every year, and it's a bit more set in stone, and it's fine if you pay them.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that would probably fix most of the issues. By the way, I bought a new watch band today, and I absolutely hate it. So that watch
Tough
is,
scene.
yeah. They oh, here it is. Sorry, completely different topic. What the deal is yeah, so like Saban was talking about, he said, we had a great team and I was really excited talking about last year. But then like separate players approached him and were like, Coach, look, I'm not coming back unless I can get like paid more, which is kind of insane.
Right.
And he didn't name
I'd
names.
I'd say it's very insane. I wouldn't say it's kind of insane.
Okay, well, I was trying to be what's the word? I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but yeah, no, it is very insane that like a player can just straight up like come to the coach and essentially hold the team like hostage, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
And just be like, look, I'm your top guy, and unless you pay me, I'm taking my top guy talents to somewhere else. And that was part of why Saban didn't really like being in the NFL, right? Was like the amount of bullshittery you had to put up with from players because you couldn't just tell them to kiss your ass and bench them. And that's why he came back to college. But now that he's back in college and now that they're doing essentially the same thing, it's kind of insane, actually. Like I hate it so much, and I'm not even involved, right? So I can't imagine how it has to be for Saban. And like I said, he was talking about last season, these kids, and then it was talking about like at the end of the season, like there's just nobody has like any real discipline anymore, right? Like everyone's just kind of a little bitch now. And I honestly, like I was real upset about it at first, but I do not in the slightest blame Saban for retiring now, because what is happening now is bullshit.
To go through his direct quotes, since I've got them pulled up, but he's basically talking about how he thought they could have a great team next year, but 70 to 80% of the players, they come and talk to you, and all they want to say is, like, are you going to assure I'm going to start next year or I'm leaving? And then also, how much are you going to pay me or I'm leaving? Like that's what they care about now is, are you going to start me and are you going to pay me? And then he previously said, like, our program here was always built on how much value we can create for your future and your personal development, academic success, and graduating and developing an NFL career in the field. Now it's all about how much money can I make as a college player and not about how can I develop into a, mega millions NFL player.
Right. And this was exactly what I was talking about literally 10 years ago when I talked about how this is going to be one of the worst things that could possibly happen to college football, and just how almost no one somehow saw this coming. Because there was people like on the outside that would go like, oh no, we need to pay these players. I mean, there were people that unironically were like citing the 14th Amendment, whichever one is the slavery one, right? And going, it's like, oh, this is essentially modern day slavery because we're making them do all this work which is, I mean, don't get me started on that, but you know, they do all this work and they don't see any money for it. And it's like, okay, but maybe they shouldn't, because as we've proven, they're kind of retarded. Like, players are honestly retarded. And when you let young people, no matter who they are, you know, no matter where they're really from, if you let them be this way, it just utterly goes to their heads. And it's disgusting. Like, I hate it so much. But
yeah, not good for ball.
Not good for ball. Real bad for ball. In fact, I would even go as far as to say, real bad for ball. And the fact that Nick Saban, right, like the heart of college football, people aren't going to like that I said that, but it's true. But the fact that he said, nah, fuck this shit, that should tell someone something. And we got to change that. Now, he has said that he kind of he wanted to leave, right? And kind of like be from the outside working on like getting it to be less shitty. Right. I think that's hopeful, and I hope that's what he does. Because I feel like if anyone can fix this, it's Nick Saban.
Right. Now, of course, there is another angle of where he might go into the media route.
I saw this. This is very interesting. I don't hate this either. And I honestly, he could probably do both, to be quite honest. Right. But, and in fact, I want to say, so go ahead and read it, because I think it's pretty interesting to hear about. But
right. So the first part of it was Peyton Manning is trying to recruit Bill Belichick for Omaha Productions, as you know, sports production company with ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of which, I guess kind of the whole promo there is, hey, we'll put you together with Nick Saban and have you do a Manning cast type feature, except it's you and Nick Saban. Which, I mean, hey, I'd watch Bill Belichick and Nick Saban talk ball.
Bro, I would watch them all day. It's going to be kind of weird for Saban, because it'd be for like professional ball, right?
I would assume so, but maybe they do both, because I mean, ESPN certainly has plenty of college games it can cover.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was gonna say. It'd be weird hearing Saban talk about pro ball, because I'm so used to him being like, you know, sports guy or a college guy,
right?
So that'd be weird, but I would like it. I think those two that would be bizarre to watch those two talk for more than, like, you know, the usual amount of 3 words that we got from them per year.
All right.
So yeah, I could see that being exciting, but whatever he does, I hope he figures something out, man, because this shit's gay. This shit is like just confirmed gay. Like, I ran the numbers, right? I put it into the Wide Boy supercomputer.
Math checks out.
Yeah, and it was like, beep boop, this is fucking gay. So
based.
Absolutely killing me, man. Yeah, this NIL, like, because, like, you know, people were talking about, like, look at Caleb Williams, right?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is the poster child of what the hell is wrong with college football right now.
Give me a percentage of the team report.
Bro, that is the most insane shit I've heard in my life. And man said that with a straight face, by the way. Like, he wasn't doing a bit, right? He wasn't doing a bit. He was 100% pay me. And I don't mean kinda. I don't like Caleb Williams.
I don't either, but a lot of rumors right now are that he will be a Bear, so sorry about your NFL career.
Yeah, well, kind of fitting.
Yeah. Let's see, other NFL news. Speaking of quarterbacks, Broncos cut Russell Wilson, taking on a record $85 million in dead cap money, which is more than double the last 2 dead money records combined.
Where we think Russ is going to
go? So here's the thing about Russ. He wants to start.
Right.
And he's willing to take a vet min contract to start. So I I feel like that's probably appealing to quite a few teams. I think the ones I've seen thrown out are the Fail Clowns. And then I've also seen the Vikings thrown out should Kirk Cousins leave the Vikings. I mean, hell, I'd take Russ in New York. Like, come on, come be a Giant. Let's have a great time.
Ooh, I
Honestly,
like that. I actually kind of like that.
What, Russ is a Giant?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, in theory, he could go be a Saint.
I don't want New Orleans to ruin another quarterback.
Well, I mean, some people think Russ is already ruined, so.
Nah. Oh, dude. What, are you kidding? Nah. That dude's still
I'm not. I don't believe it, but
I'm still fully on the Russ bus.
Based.
Yeah, that's my guy. I have zero connection to him, right? That's my guy.
That's your guy.
That's my guy.
So the franchise tag deadline was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few players tagged. T. Higgins for the Bengals. Let's see other notable ones. L'Jarius Sneed for the Chiefs. Mr. Sneed.
Sneed.
Got the tag.
Good for him.
Notable players that didn't get tagged, Saquon Barkley. So he's probably not going to be a Giant next year, if I had to guess. Rip Bozo.
Rip
and
Bozo.
Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle out of Miami. Very good at ball. Big character as well. He's got some pretty iconic mic'd up moments.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, franchise tag is over. Next Tuesday, the tampering period begins, and then next Wednesday, free agency begins. So next week's show will probably have quite a few trades and signings to talk about. Because you know there's the legal tampering period, but you know. All these deals are probably worked out already. They just can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I think the last piece of news I had was the new proposed kickoff rule, which I've decided I'm a fan of. And I don't know if you've looked at them, but I'm actually going to do a nice little bit here where I draw them on the football field.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can put this on the live screen.
Hold on. Fucking shit, God. Man. Okay. All right, yeah, we're good. Sorry.
We're good? All right.
Yeah.
So,
all right, there we go.
All right, let's see. I'm going to color. I'm going to use blue for the Giants.
Okay.
So your kicker. All right, so your kicker is. That's not a brush. Just like normal, your kicker kicks off from the 35.
Okay.
That's how it is right now. That's how it'll continue to be. Then, much like I believe the XFL, the rest of the kickoff teams dudes are all lined up on the 40.
Okay.
And then you have a bunch of the defenders are lined up on the 35.
Okay.
With I think like a couple floating dudes that can be like between the 35 and the 30. Then you have your two returners, specifically two, back in this field. And now, so basically the goal of this is to increase returns because the return rate was super low this year.
Right. Which is very boring.
So now, very boring. So now it's kind of a bit more of a mini game than just kick it as hard as you can out of the backfield because now you have to kick the ball. That's a bad line in the wrong spot. The kicker has to land the ball between the 20 and 1 yard line. That's the target zone for the kickoff.
Well, what if there's no more touchbacks?
There are touchbacks, but only if so. Well, basically, there's a few situations depending on where you kick the ball.
Okay.
If you kick it and it lands in the target zone, the returner can then just pick it up and go as normal. If you land it in the target zone and it like rolls into the end zone, then the other team gets the ball at the 20. I think this is going to be your general goal because you land the ball, between the 5 and 1,
right.
Then it rolls in the end zone. They can't return it, so they get the ball at 20. That's optimal for your team. If you kick it like into the end zone. You miss this. You miss the field. You land in the end zone. They then get to start the ball at 35, which is pretty major field position gain.
Oh.
And if you got like a bit of a weak leg and you don't even make it to the target zone, they get the ball at the 40.
Good Lord.
So it's kind of heavily incented that like you need your kicker to hit it into this zone.
That's putting kind of a lot of pressure on the punter.
Well, the kicker, not the punter, but yeah. I guess it depends who kicks off for the team, but
doesn't a punter usually do that?
Yeah, so I think it depends on teams.
Oh, okay.
I know some punters do. I know some kickers do as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it's also got some rules like no one can move until the returner has touched the ball.
Okay,
which is a little weird.
Yeah.
And then I think also I don't think the like receiving team can advance until like I don't think they can advance at all until the ball is like up to this point. I don't know how about that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Dude's five yards down from you, running straight at you, and you can't advance. But it's designed to increase returns and add a bit of skill to the kickoff instead of just banging it as hard as you can. And this was designed by all the special team coordinators, so I kind of like it because it's a bit more of, all right, you got to have a kicker who can actually land it in this specific range instead of just banging it as hard as I can.
Right.
It also adds some interesting like field condition concerns because like if the wind is at your back now, like you might just have a really hard time not kicking it into the end zone and getting the ball at 35. Versus but then you're trying to kick it lightly, but the wind's going the other way. Got to actually make it there still. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And it's also interesting because of the defensive thing that like once you get past that first set of guys, there's really like I get what they mean about like trying to increase returns because I mean, you know, used to because by the time like defenders would get downfield, right, they were pretty evenly spaced out, right?
Right.
Because there's some of those guys can run a lot faster.
Like the 40 or whatever.
Yeah. But now, oh my God, you know what else this is too? There's going to be a lot more situations now, I think, where the kicker has to be the one to be the hero, right?
Right.
Like he breaks through the front line of defenders and now it's just you and the kicker. That's great.
I think if this goes as intended, it'll probably be pretty fun for kickoffs.
I could see this.
They are now, so.
Yeah, I could see this being really big. I mean, this is like XFL level exciting.
I'd argue a bit more than XFL level exciting because XFL didn't really have the whole target zone and incentives to run it out as much as the NFL does. But
that's true. That's great.
Yeah, so they still have to vote on that, but I'm backing it. They've got my vote, so they should pass it.
You know what? Fuck it. They got my vote as well.
Because the NFL is very right in saying the kickoff is boring as hell right now. And
I mean, yeah, it is. It's like, in fact, I'd even go as far as say it's gay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say that it's gay.
All right. And the other proposed rule change, which I don't like, is they're changing the the onside kick to only be doable in the fourth quarter by the trailing team, and you have to announce it before.
I hate this. I hate this so. This is honestly one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time.
Like I get the success rate is pretty minimal, but surprise onside kicks are kind of iconic plays,
right? Especially
when they work. So like getting rid of the surprise onside kick, only letting them do it in the fourth quarter instead of like a fun trick play. Terrible change. I hope it doesn't pass.
Yeah.
I am a fan of the kickoff, though.
Big kickoff guy. Yeah, big kickoff guy. But that punt, it's just so stupid. Like, yeah, it's like they're trying to remove like any level of like fun strategy from football.
Yep.
Just, turning the sport gay.
Which is crazy they're doing that while then trying to add strategy to the kickoff.
Yeah. That doesn't make much sense. But, hey.
Hey,
in a Velma, right?
damn right.
Mm. Well,
That's all
hey,
I got.
at least wrestling's pretty interesting these days, right?
Yeah, wrestling is great.
I want to talk about a little bit that what 48-minute promo Friday night.
Yeah, it was. Was it that long? Like I know it ran 40 plus minutes.
It was just under 50 minutes. Yeah, I mean it was
Yeah, it
almost
was
literally half the
extremely
show.
based.
Yeah, because by the time they quit
Honestly,
that, went to commercial, then came back and recapped it a little bit, like it was almost 8 o'clock, or well 9 o'clock, I guess.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like you could run that shit for the whole show, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, I mean I think I've kind of realized here in the last little bit that like I'm kind of like a bigger promo guy than I am like the actual wrestling. Because a lot of times on the
Right,
weekly
'cause-
shows, the wrestling is okay. Like the main event's usually a banger, and there might be like one or two other matches in there that's like you go, oh, okay, well that was better than I expected it to be. But most of the time, I just want to come. I want them to come out there and be like, "Listen up, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna fuck your butt." And it's like, well, yeah, let's go.
Damn right.
So, but yeah, Rock came out, or well, sorry, Roman came out and started his thing. I loved the like, "You will acknowledge me or I'm leaving" thing, and then he made him do it what, 3 times, and he was like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah," and then he said, "All right, get the jet ready. We're leaving. We're going." And Wiseman says, "Actually, we have to wait for the Rock after the commercials."
That's so good.
That was. Then the Rock comes out. They cut a whole thing, and then can you smell what the bloodline is cooking? Man, I can't wait. I honestly, so we were talking about it the other day in Discord, and the way that I foresee it going is I think night one, Cody and Seth lose the tag team, right?
Right.
Because I just think it'd be a little too on the nose if they won. I think they're going to lose, right? And then the next night they come in and kind of a recreation of WrestleMania 30 or 31 or 29, I forget which one, where it was Triple H, Daniel Bryan, and whoever else in that three-way, where they're trying to like have him as the underdog, right? So I think they're gonna lose, and then they're gonna come out there and they're gonna like do all this stupid shit. They're gonna beat his ass because it's gonna be a no DQ, right?
Right.
Someone will come out and help Cody, and Cody will win, and that will. I think it's gonna set up a Roman Rock rivalry for either SummerSlam or even WrestleMania 41.
I think they might cook that Roman Rock rivalry all the way to next year's Mania.
I could see it. I could see it. And
mainly because I think The Rock wants to main event a one-on-one Mania more
Yeah.
than he wants to main event a SummerSlam. But
True. Well, and also you could probably do the Bloodline at SummerSlam. You could do Bloodline
Right.
versus Bloodline. Then Roman then comes into WrestleMania alone. And then you can start cooking Uso versus Uso as well from that, right?
shit, they've already started Uso versus Uso. I think that's happening this Mania.
Do you really? I don't know, man.
I mean, I guess it's only a few weeks away at this point.
It
but,
is, yeah.
I mean, Jimmy's been costing Jay some big opportunities as of late.
I think that might be the setup for the Cody main event, though. I think
You think Jay's gonna show up to screw over Roman and whatnot? And
I
help
think
Cody?
Jay shows up and they have a moment where Jay is going to be like, "Okay, I'm back," and then he's like, "Just kidding," and hits like one of them with a chair or something, and then Cody wins, and then that sets up, into the bloodline, because that puts a lot on Jimmy, right? Roman will be like, "Oh, you should have your brother under control. I told you about your brother, blah blah blah," and then that creates tension between the bloodline. That creates tension between the brothers. I think it's a good way to play it, and I would like to see it.
My only issue with that angle is I don't see any reason why it would be believable that Jimmy or Jay would show up to help the bloodline. It's like he's kind of been beefing with them pretty hard the past few weeks.
You mean Jay?
Yeah, Jay's been beefing with the Bloodline.
Right, I'm saying Jay would show up and fuck with him.
Yeah, but like you said, like originally his point was like, oh, he's gonna show up and pretend to, be on their side. I guess I could see that. I don't really see a reason why he would.
It's wrestling,
right? Sure.
I mean, it could be. He could even come out and be like, do something, and then everyone's like, whoa, he's here. What did you just do? And they're like, oh, you're back on. I said, yeah. Chair to the back of the head.
Now, here's an interesting angle.
Okay.
So if we go in that route of Seth and Cody losing night one, is Seth getting pinned twice at WrestleMania? Because I'm fully on the Drew McIntyre train.
I think Cody eats the pin night one. And I think Seth looks strong, but doesn't eat the pin. And in fact, maybe they play like the injury thing into it. It's like, oh, he's still kind of injured or something. And like,
right. I mean, I do think the story for the Seth Drew thing is ultimately going to be like facing the Bloodline costed Seth the title, and Drew, despite bitching about it, how he lost his title, wins the title off the Bloodline's help.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Changing both titles on one night of Mania, though, that's kind of wild. I like it, but it's kind of wild.
Listen, the titles need to fucking move. I don't care that it's wild.
They do. Yeah.
I think every belt but Mommy's needs to move this Mania.
Especially the tag. Like, I forget the Judgment Day is tag champions sometimes. Like,
I'm really hoping, because on SmackDown, Aldi said, like, me and Pierce have a plan for the tag titles. I'm really hoping that plan involves splitting them.
Me too,
so we get better action with those, but I don't know. I mean, even if it's like a gimmick, Awesome Truth holds the titles for a few weeks. Like, give me that.
I mean, come on. That'd just be great. Just cause. I want that, yeah. Big Awesome Truth guy. Big Awesome Truth.
Yeah, I mean, my other take on how the whole 1v or 2v2 could go is like potentially Rock takes the pin, like somewhat intentionally, which kind of sets up a feud between him and Roman, because then he's all his bloodline is banned from helping him. Which I guess could also set up like who are the other members of the bloodline going to side with, Roman or Rock, and all of this going like forward. But I could honestly see it going either way, and that's why I'm kind of pretty hyped for it.
Yeah, it's really great when you aren't sure. Because like if this had been like 10, 13 years ago, and like this was like John Cena or something, you would know exactly what way it was about to go. And it wouldn't be fun at all. But now it's like, oh, okay, hold on, shit, hold on, So, yeah, very excited. And boy, howdy, it's approaching us fast, too. What are we, like, almost exactly a month away, I think?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah, April 6th, so literally a month. So you hear John Cena's teasing appearing at WrestleMania?
So what I did hear about that is I'm pretty sure he hyped up that he wants to win another belt still.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Which, I mean, hey, why not?
Yeah, why not? Hold
on. Doesn't someone...
Damn it! God, I hate sneezing!
Doesn't someone that they particularly don't like for dumb reasons hold the belt titles like record right now? Like Hogan or something?
That sounds right, but Hogan's back in their good graces, I think.
But you can't have ultra KKK Nazi Hulk Hogan having records.
I mean, they just gave the Intercontinental record to a guy who is literally a Hugo Boss suit away from being a Nazi character. So, I don't know how concerned they are about that, but you could be right. They just had Hogan for their big. They had him on something not too long ago.
Rumble, yeah.
Rumble, that was it.
They did have him in commercials and whatnot for Rumble.
So I think they're fine.
Thought he might end up showing up on the show.
Oh yeah, brother. Well, put the titles on him. I don't care which one. Put one on him. That'd be hilarious.
based. Put them all on them.
That's like
Unify the
that'd be
belts.
something TNA would have done. In fact, I think it was something TNA did.
Not WWE entirely related, but Sting retired this week. That happened.
I saw that. I didn't watch the match. I didn't watch any of AEW's pay-per-view, but I loved the intro. I loved the match thing as well.
And of course, because they're a clown company, they went over in some of the garbage matches beforehand. So his like retirement speech got cut off mid-speech.
Yeah, I had to post on
in
YouTube.
Well, that's pretty embarrassing, but
yeah, but it's pretty on brand though.
It is.
It's actually heavily on brand.
Which fun fact, one of Sting's kids is a Destiny 2 YouTuber.
I saw that, yeah. And he was like explaining, he was like, "Oh, sorry guys, sorry that I haven't been, online or whatever. I've been in the gym training." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of based actually."
Very based.
Yeah, that's kind of based.
Now, so WrestleMania coming up. Are you going to watch Stand and Deliver morning of?
Probably. Actually, hold on. Well. It actually kind of depends because I got a lot going on these days. Actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, you're going to be busy Saturday morning.
I got to see. That's where I'm going to my events here on Facebook, which I let's see, what is that? April. No, it looks right now that might be that weekend's clear for now. But I mean, if well, you say morning, like what time?
I think it might legitimately be like a morning show. Let me look it up.
Okay, that's kind of wild, but
NXT Stand and Deliver. Give me the time. Oh no, it starts 11:30 Eastern, so 10:30 for you.
Okay,
that's still pretty early for wrestling.
That is relatively early, but I mean, I'm looking here at the thing, and like nothing is really going on, so I should be fine. I should be fine. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching it. How was last night's little event?
Quite good. So, I guess they had kind of the finale to the Dijak Joe Gacy series in the Asylum match, which is basically just a cage match with anything goes rules, and like they threw a straight jacket in at one point. That match was pretty good. They had the 2v2 girls match, Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley, the like Menhera GF to Lyra Valkyria. So if you're into crazy bitches, that's your character.
Where's Devin?
Taking a shit.
He's into crazy bitches. Let him know.
Oh yeah. Let's see what other matches were there. Sean Spears. Don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I remember him returning.
Previously named Ty Dillinger,
which I think is a better name, but
right. He had his debut return match, squashed the shit out of some random jobber. They have him in some storyline with, I believe, the other half of the group formerly known as the Brawling Brutes. And he's like trying to unleash that dude's inner demon or some shit. I don't know. They're NXT cooks up some weird stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like some late 90s shit.
Chase U versus the Wolf Dogs for the tag title belts. Of course, the Wolf Dogs did win. Because that's an interesting situation. Because like they got to get the tag belts off Braun Breaker. I guess they can make Baron Corbin take the pin and just have Braun Breaker look really good in the match to get the belts off him. I guess they can do it that way. And then final match of the night was the Dawn boss of NXT, Tony Stacks. Tony D'Angelo.
Hey,
Great
Tony
name.
Stacks. Hey.
Oh no, Stacks is his other guy, his underboss. He's the Don Tony D'Angelo. Right. So he was in a match with Milo. I don't know why I just had like a.
I thought it was Mello.
Carmelo. Listen, sometimes dual threat names just don't come out right.
Because Mello is money.
Well, his current thing is Mello is him.
I've heard both. At the same time, I've heard both.
Right. So solid match. Mello does come out with like his 4 like armed bodyguards. Like
Based.
they even catch him when he gets thrown out of the ring at one point.
Based.
And then towards the end of the match, Trick Williams' music comes on because obviously Trick hasn't been on NXT since Vengeance Day when Mello took him out.
Mm.
Never actually comes out, but the Don uses that to win the match. And now he gets the match versus Ilya at Stand and Deliver. And then he ends the night with telling Mello he's got a gift for him, and then Trick actually comes out and whoops his ass. So that was obviously a massive pop.
Hell yeah, bro. Whoop that Trick.
I think so. Obviously, we're getting Trick Williams versus Mello at Stand and Deliver. Looking forward to that. And wouldn't be surprised if both of them are moving up to the main roster very shortly after.
I like that they brought Braun up, and I'm excited to see because they've just given him like squash matches so far.
Right. I think Braun is kind of just squashing dudes until after Mania.
Right. I could see Braun making a run for the international.
Yeah, me too.
I would actually. Which, they got like
they got that 6-way gauntlet match next week for Gunther's Mania opponent. Who do we think's winning?
Are you kidding? Ready, willing, and Gable, dude.
You big Chad Gable guy?
Big Chad Gable guy. I want him to finish the story.
He's certainly one of the favorites. I think Sami Zayn's also a favorite, but I think like he might end up getting worked into the. I kind of hope he doesn't, but I feel like he might get worked into the Seth Drew story, like battle match somehow.
I feel like he needs to get worked into the bloodline thing. If we really want this to be like the finishing of the story for both of them, not just Cody, but Cody and the bloodline, I feel like he's got to be part of that too. Because that was a really good angle. I came back to watching wrestling last year at the very tail end of that, and I'm sad I missed a lot because it was really good. I liked his whole little
that whole bloodline story that we missed a bunch of was very good.
Yeah, I mean it remained good, but the bloodline story really is probably the greatest storyline WWE has had in probably a decade.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase.
Save the company.
The best storyline they've had that wasn't on accident.
Fair.
Yeah. So, and when I put it that way, maybe 2 decades. So.
Based.
Messed up, but true.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
hell, you were probably so, but I was like completely off it when they first brought The Rock in. And then they worked it into a great angle, so.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Because the seeds were there from the very beginning. I think they'd had this plan the whole time. I don't think this is like I was talking about earlier, WrestleMania 30 with Daniel Bryan. I don't think it was that situation where like the fans really truly like did it. I think they're using that as the basis for the story. Because you look back at the night that The Rock showed up, right? Like, Cody walked away and he looked real solemn and everything. It's like, I don't know if I'm buying this, right? Like I don't think, because they made a point of showing Cody walking away, looking despondent with The Rock in the background. I was like, no. That's not on accident. So I think they've had this cooking the entire time, expecting the crowd, of course, to buy into it, which is great. The Cody Crybabies thing, I love that. That's so good. Have you seen the new shirts? Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull
I've definitely seen some of them, like the cartoonish slap one.
The cartoonish slap one. That is so funny. Pull it up real fast if I can find it. Ooh, free shipping. Oh shit! Hey, you want a Paul Heyman shirt?
I mean, a little bit.
You want a Bull Nakano shirt?
Well, not really. No.
Here was one of them. But this wasn't the funniest one. The other one was the funny one. But now I can't find it. Here it is. Yeah. It's a cartoon. He said, what does it say? Hey, Rock, my fans are not crybabies. Shut up. You're all crybabies. Oh, that's so funny. I've never buy a Rock shirt, but.
Same.
Very funny. I love it. WWE is so great.
Yeah, they're really popping off right now.
Damn it, the Kane Funko Pop sold out. Fuck.
Yeah, you were gonna get a Kane Funko
No.
Pop.
No. Ooh, holy shit. This CM Punk jacket goes hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be hosting, right? Probably.
Probably. I mean, I think he's set to be on the last Raw or SmackDown before Mania, so I imagine that's when they'll announce it.
All right.
Man, I'll tell you what, though, SmackDown this week with the full face-to-face of all four of them.
Yeah.
Like, shit, give them the whole first hour. Fuck
Which is kind of crazy because they've still got 3 more weeks to fill after that. Like
right.
that feels like day before kind of shit. So I guess we got more in the tank here, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's semi-spoilery, but they are advertising like all of that for like the next 2 weeks at the very least. So, like, it's not going to be a one-off segment. We're going to get some further follow-ups.
Okay. Well, it's interesting how they could even follow up on that.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Reminds me of was it speaking of CM Punk, I think it was CM Punk and Undertaker when they had their WrestleMania program a few years ago, and Taker didn't even show up until like the Friday before the weekend. It was just CM Punk cutting promos to a camera like for 3 months. It was so depressing.
Based?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know what's not depressing? That we have more sports coming, I guess. I don't know. When does UFL's like end of the month, like the 20-something, right?
Yeah, it's like last weekend of the month.
Is it the 30th?
I believe so, yes. It's legit the end of the month.
Good lord. Man, that's a ways away, huh?
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I do like that there's like a nice month-long break between the Super Bowl and then realistically lower quality football. I feel like it coming back, like the month is just long enough that you'd be like, yeah, I want to watch some football again, and I don't care what the quality is.
Right. I like that I clicked on Deadline for the news here to see, and like with the first comment, his son's like, every spring football effort has failed. This won't be no different. It's like you realize like both these leagues have been going on for like several years, right?
Yep.
Fucking God, no one. Is there anyone more retarded than people who commentate online? That's a trick question because it's no.
People who talk about said comments on their weekly podcast.
Man.
That's us. That's you and me.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be you and me. And hey, hopefully our good friend Tim next week when we're here, back on Wednesday night, back at 7 Eastern, talking about sports, shooting the shit. Don't have another point, but that's it. How you feel about that?
I feel great.
Excellent. Fuck yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week.